Hi, this is really an unfortunate video that I don't want to have to make, but I have to make it because I have to highlight how CBS Mornings and other other quote-unquote news stations really don't honor victims and how they really encourage and uplift serial killers and murderers, etc. And they don't realize they're doing it, but they are in fact doing it. So, if those kinds of things are disturbing to you, you need to click off right now. And if you're someone who works at CBS Mornings and or any other news station, then this is the video for you and you're welcome, okay?
We've searched the property and we've located 7 bodies.
Okay,
Oklahoma law
so
enforcement.
that right there, we've located 7 bodies. That's an indicator that this is someone who has gotten away with murder multiple times, likely due to law enforcement not fucking doing their jobs and or them just getting away with it, okay? And that is very appealing to someone who wants to do this type of action. That's very appealing to someone who does do this type of action or someone who has done this type of action, as they're like, oh wow, look how many people that guy killed, okay? And then this next shot right here is of all the activity at the site of finding deceased human beings' remains. And this is also very exciting to someone who wants to kill people, okay? Because they're saying, wow, look at how many people showed up to the scene. Look at how many cars are there. And I'm going to say this, and this is not something people want to hear, but it's true. Unfortunately, with law enforcement, if someone is working in law enforcement at in a small town or just somewhere where there aren't a lot of murders, which does tend to be smaller towns. There are more murders in larger cities, but anyway, what happens is very frequently is that law enforcement actually gets very excited. It's very exciting to have something like a murder happen. And I don't like this, you guys. These are just facts, okay? But I'm just telling you that, and something like this. So now
Found those bodies in Henrietta Monday, but would not discuss any additional facts of the case.
Yeah, so they're showing how many people showed up for this person, and they're also saying, but we don't know who the murderer actually is, which could, in all seriousness, potentially give the actual person, if they're on the run and they see this video, then they know that they're not a suspect. Is that good? Is that good?
No suspect at large that we are looking for right at this moment.
While neither a motive.
Honestly, let's be real here. That's likely at least partially due to the fact that they have a limited team. They have a limited amount of staff covering this. They also likely don't have the resources to cover this, especially if it's in a smaller town. But anyway.
Or the name of a suspect has been released. The father of 16-year-old.
Okay, so this is really disturbing too, and I hate watching this. I don't even think I am going to watch this. I'm going to fast forward it a little bit, just because this is exploitative of the family and this is exploitative of the victim, is they make a point to go and talk to one of the victim's family members, show them crying, show them upset, show them talking about how hard it is, okay? And that's exploitative, all right? It does not help get a suspect, all right? People who watch the news, people who watch videos, people who consume this sort of thing tend to want to see that because they know that that's what's going on and that's what they would be feeling, right? If they lost a loved one from something like murder, okay? But when they're just showing this person upset, guess what else? It gets the killer excited. Like, look, I upset that guy, okay?
Old Brittany Brewer confirmed his daughter was among the dead.
She
Yeah,
always
okay.
played with her.
I'm not going to watch this because I don't want to. I already saw it. I don't like exploiting people. I don't know why they're, like, why are they exploiting this guy? When he quite literally just found out extremely recently that his daughter was murdered. Is that the time to put him on camera? I mean, he'd likely agree. I don't think it's absolutely wrong, but I do find it disturbing. Okay?
Earlier in the day, Oklahoma Highway Patrol reported Brewer was endangered and missing, along with her friend, 14-year-old Ivy Webster. They were believed to be traveling with 39-year-old Jesse McFadden.
We searched the property.
Okay, so we didn't even see until the very end that Jesse McFadden seems to be the guy who likely did this. They didn't even say that in the narration that he's suspect number fucking one. They were like, we're not looking for anyone right now, but like we found this guy. And if you're gonna put it on a short like this, if that was not in fact Jesse McFadden, if someone confirmed he did leave, he did drop them off, he was not, maybe he was the last person seen with them, but he wasn't the last person seen with them, known to have been seen with them. Like, all this does is encourage other murderers. All this does is get other murderers, other people who want to murder, excited. It gets them excited. It gets them wanting to murder other people. It gets them to be like, wow, look how many people showed up at that crime scene. Okay, they want attention, all right? They want attention badly. And I don't know if you guys have ever watched stuff about Ted Bundy, but he said, like, he had murdered so many people that he said it was actually a relief for him to be caught, because he just would have kept on murdering people and he would have just kept on running. All right? So this is not the right way to cover news stories of women having been murdered. This is always how it's covered, okay? It's in this same style, in this same manner, in these same ways. All right? And I know that news as we know it currently is really going out of style. Like, I'm talking about like broadcast news on television. Like, most people don't watch that anymore. But there are a few people who do still watch it, and they are still, going about it in the exact same way, in the exact same manner. They're reporting these things in the exact same way, in the exact same manner. So they'll have this really unfortunate, heartbreaking story of these two beautiful young women being murdered, and then be like, and then they'll fucking take a breath and be like, but today at the state fair, like, it's really disgusting. And they don't realize that this is what they're doing. They don't realize that their manner of reporting is a problem. And they don't realize that it's helping other sick fucks to keep doing their sick fuck shit. Okay? And I don't know why very few people are talking about this. I don't know why. Actually, I do know why. The reason as to why newscasters don't speak to this shit and they don't suggest any new things is because they want their jobs, and news has more or less always just been about entertainment. Okay, I don't want to get too into it because I want to keep this video shorter, but things like the Zodiac killers, the Manson family, even BTK, which was somewhat more recently. Also, what's that guy's name? Chris Watts. All of that became a media circus, okay? And it became like this giant spectacle, and that's still happening with news today, and it needs to stop, and I'm sick of it, and girls like Brittany Brewer and Ivy Webster do not deserve that.